Not yet, not yet.
Oh, so.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said
Yeah.
anything.
Now you can.
Okay, welcome to the November 2024 meeting of the Business Affairs and License Committee. My name is Anton Malner and I'm chair of the committee. Tonight we are joined by District Manager Jesus Perez. This meeting is called to order at 6:36 p.m. As a reminder, New York State law requires all committee members who are not able to attend the meeting in person to have their cameras on and their first and last names displayed from the time the meeting is called to order until the time the meeting is adjourned. Members of the public who are attending virtually, you can raise any questions or comments that you have through the Q&A feature of Zoom. Members of the public who are here in person, you can raise any questions that you have by raising your hand. If there is time following the committee's discussion, we will field questions from the public. Sarah Whittington will be taking minutes tonight. Thank you, Sarah.
Welcome.
We'll take an attendance by roll call. Jesus, will you conduct the roll call?
Yes. All right. When I call your name, please indicate that you are present. Paige Judge is not here.
Excused.
Okay. John Keller.
Present.
Thank you. Anton Malner.
Present.
Thank you. Ann Seligman.
Present.
Thank you. Susan Steinberg.
Present.
Thank you. Sarah Whittington.
Present.
Thank you. Michael N. Rowe.
Present.
Thank you. Justin Goldberg.
Present.
Thank you. With 6 of 8, duly present, we do have quorum.
Thank you. The agenda for tonight's meeting was distributed ahead of time by the board office and is reflected on the screen before you. If there is no objection, we will adopt the agenda. Members of the committee, if you object to adopting the agenda, please raise your hand. Seeing no objections, the agenda for tonight's meeting is adopted. The minutes from the October meeting are being reviewed. Once they're ready for committee review, they will be sent to you. Okay, some ground rules. In order to conduct an efficient meeting, let's observe a few ground rules. No one may speak until granted the floor. Committee members who are here in person, if you have a question about committee business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand and I will identify you so you can speak. Committee members unable to attend in person, if you have a question about committee business, you may raise your hand through Zoom and I will identify you so you can speak. All committee members, it is extremely important that only one person speak at a time, so that members of the public watching at home can understand what is being said by each committee member. The chat function for committee members present via Zoom should not be used for committee business or questions about agenda topics. All such remarks should be made on the record by raising your hand through Zoom. Chat should only be used to alert us to any technical difficulties you are having or to state in writing information like an email address that was already stated aloud on the record during the meeting. All right. Tonight's agenda. First item, renewal of on-premises license for 380 East Venture LLC doing business as a factory. I'd like to bundle that with items 3 and 4 because they pertain to the same enterprise. One is for a roadway cafe license and the second item 4 is for a sidewalk license. Sorry, 2 and 3.
Yes.
2 and 3.
Is it 3, 4, and 5?
No, I think it's 1.
2 and 3.
1, 2, and 3. I'm sorry.
And do we need a motion for that?
No. By acclamation.
Let's just do it.
Okay. Is there any representative of the factory, factory at 380 East, 380 3rd Avenue?
Yep, we are here.
Okay, so we have 3 items on the agenda for you guys. First one being a renewal of your liquor license. My only issue is that we have noted there have been complaints about noise, not from coming outside the restaurant, but from the DJ and music from the inside, in which loud bass seems to be reverberating through not only the building you're in, but the next building as well. Are you aware of these complaints?
Yes, we are, and we've taken steps to rectify the issues and contacted some of the individuals in the building themselves and heard their concerns and taken whatever, haven't had any issues with them since. Though preventative measures have included turning off music at certain times, making sure it's at a reasonable level, and putting additional noise stoppers at the doors to ensure the music doesn't travel through and up.
Do you have windows that open out to the sidewalk, or are you a sealed restaurant?
We have windows, but they are closed at 10 p.m.
Okay, thank you. I have no other questions about this particular item on the agenda. Does any member of the committee have one? Yes,
I have questions.
of course.
So this is again about kind of 1, 2, and 3. That's
Sure.
good, right? I'm wondering, especially when there's music, we usually request that there is a phone number for a manager, like an on-site manager, especially if there are noise issues. Do you have a number posted for somebody to call during business hours?
Yeah, so my contact number, direct cell number, has been furnished to the buildings on each side.
Okay, that's not slightly different. Actually, what we ask from a lot of folks is if just like a paper can be posted with a phone number. So if somebody is walking by and has a problem with the noise, or if they live upstairs, that they have a manager's phone number to call.
Yes, we will post a sign with an email contact and a phone contact.
Awesome. I noticed too, this is a question about the sidewalk cafe. That's pretty small, right? It's like 2 tops, maybe 4 tops if you stretch it. Is that right? Am I seeing that correctly?
Yeah, that'll be about correct.
Okay, and the last thing is just so everybody knows, I really read it carefully. Your hours on a couple of them, 2 of the applications show Wednesdays from 4 p.m. to 4 p.m., which I think you probably mean 4 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Yes, that is incorrect. We will look into that and rectify.
Very good. Speaking of both the sidewalk and the roadway cafe, notice from the pictures that there's very narrow pedestrian passway. Now, according to the Department of Transportation rules, there has to be a clear path of at least 8 feet in your area.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem to me that you have 8 feet clearance between your sidewalk tables and the roadway cafe.
Yes, I can see that there. When we measured it, it was 8 feet, but we will definitely look into it again and make sure that we are adhering to the guidelines.
Okay.
The egress there, maybe with the poles, but from the table standpoint, when we measured it, it was always within the parameters. I think that was when we got the license, that was stipulated that it had to be within the parameters of the 8 feet. So,
and that also includes the sandwich boards.
The signage.
Sandwich boards, the movable sandwich boards.
Yeah.
Should be, yeah.
Happy hour, the advertising happy hour.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so we will endeavor to make sure that they are off the sidewalk and clear, and that the pathway is clear for pedestrians walking down.
I don't have any other questions. Does any committee member, or is there a member of the public have a question?
I have a question.
Go ahead, you are?
It's Michael Ann. Hi. My name's
Hi.
Michael Ann. I'm with the business committee. What time does the DJ start?
So the DJ starts at different times on different nights. Wednesday 8 p.m., Thursday 9 p.m., Friday, Saturday 9 p.m.
And then it goes until what time usually?
3 a.m. the latest.
I see. Okay. And has the reverberation issue been fixed already, or you're working on it?
From our estimation, it's been fixed. We have taken the steps and we haven't had any complaints since.
Okay. And the signs, a lot of signs, yeah, I can see that, you know, those signs take up a lot of space. Are both sides, those chairs and tables right outside the window, which I think is your window that's usually open. Are those there now?
Are they there now? I believe so, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so you can fit how many in the sidewalk cafe area, in the tented area?
2.
It doesn't look like two, it looks like,
So we-
Tables are-
no, in the sidewalk area. On the roadway, I should say.
On the walkway or in the sheltered area?
In the sheltered area?
Yeah, so they need to be tucked in a little bit more from the picture that I'm seeing there. But we normally have 2 there, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I should have said, how many seats do you have? Can you accommodate in your shed?
Oh, seats, including the banquette, about 20.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the later pictures shows the city. If you go down,
Yeah, there's a,
like a schematic, yeah.
if you go all the
Yeah.
way down, yeah, there it is.
There you go, okay. Yeah,
Okay, it seems to me you have 1, 2, 3, 8 tables, 16, but from the picture above, it looks like you have a banquette. Am I mistaken?
Yeah, that's correct.
So which is it?
Hi, my name is Roberta, by the way. I have my camera on, but I somehow have not been able to speak. Hold on one second. Get my,
Roberta, we can
sorry.
hear you.
Hi, I'm one of the owners for the factory. I'm the one, Alan and Scott, they're on the other side. They're the manager and the managing partner. I did the application for the Sidewalk Cafe, so I can fully speak on the behalf of it. We do have a banquette instead of the chairs behind. And remember, this roadway cafe is coming down, right? Next year, we're doing a whole new shed, because this shed is there since COVID.
All right, so you'll just have tables starting next season.
We're actually hoping to go with the banquette and just slide the seats instead of the chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just so long as it doesn't.
It's just gonna
impact
actually take
sidewalk.
less space. It's gonna give our service staff more space, and that's the
Yeah.
reason the banquette's better than the chairs. Because the chairs, you just sit back, you have a bag, you have a coat, while the banquet sit there, there's no extras, there's nothing. You just slide a table, you're in and you're out. It's better for our service. And it's
Right,
also
because
better for
it's a
people,
restaurant,
so they can
yeah.
get in and out.
But they're still movable, the banquettes.
Correct.
Yeah.
I wonder if we can bundle the motion for all 3 items, or do we have to do it separately?
I would not recommend not doing one for the renewal,
Okay,
just focusing on the.
okay, so actually,
Maybe we
because
can do a renewal and then one motion for the
Pardon?
other.
Sidewalk.
And maybe one for the renewal and one,
I would not recommend doing.
you
one
don't
for the
think we should
No,
bundle
because
any of them?
SLA
No,
probably will do
the-
it anyway.
The outdoor dining ones can be one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I would recommend leaving out and not bothering with the renewal at this stage.
Okay.
You don't think we have to do anything with
No,
it?
we don't.
No.
It'll happen on its own.
Okay. We don't want it, we don't need to be on the record?
No,
Okay,
not for renewal.
all right.
motion of no objection for the outdoor and the two and the
There's
three.
the sidewalks.
Two and
Yeah,
the three.
second,
Okay,
got that?
All right, so let me pull up. Maybe. Can someone crack the window a little bit?
Justin, can you crack the window again?
thank you.
Okay, all right, so this is the combined resolution to comment on the Sidewalk Cafe and Roadway Cafe application for 380 East Ventures LLC doing business as Factory 380 at 380 Third Avenue. If I understand correctly, this committee wants to recommend approval.
Mhm.
Okay,
Well, is it approval or no objection?
But,
as we mentioned when we first started doing these, because DOT uses this language, recommending approval,
Oh, okay.
recommending
No,
denial.
we should go with their language.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
we'll take a vote on this after we.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And while we're doing this, maybe we should ask if there are any members of the general public who have anything to say on this particular application.
Actually, I did before. I didn't-
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, okay, never mind. All right, so whereas Roberta Souza, owner, and we have Alan and Scott here.
Yep.
Is that, okay,
Correct.
can I get a last name for Alan?
McGill.
McGill, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
And Alan's title at this establishment is what now?
General manager.
General manager. Sorry, folks, but Brian, who normally does these, has been out sick, so
Oh,
is he
okay?
I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. He'll be back to us soon enough.
Okay.
General manager and Scott.
Connolly. C-O-N, yeah,
All right.
Connolly, Connolly.
Lowry,
Italian name.
Owner as well.
owner, okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, whereas Roberta Souza, owner, Alan McGill, general manager, and Scott Connolly, owner, appeared before the Business Affairs and Licensing Committee of this community board on November 21st of this year. Because CB6 has jurisdiction of this establishment because it's in this district. Do you guys have any comments regarding the cafe's physical footprint or dimensions? No? All right.
No, but do we have a similar, I can't quite see it there, but do we have the thing that's like sort of if anything is different than what has been presented here?
Yeah, I think that's the
Doesn't look
final, that's the
Okay.
final thing.
Do you guys have any comments specifically about the pedestrian flow of this application?
Should we say something about where its concerns were expressed about the spatial arrangements, but the owners
The 8 foot,
indicated they would make sure
That they were in compliance.
that they were in
The,
compliance?
Sidewalk passageway,
Whereas
Regulations.
concerns were raised about what specifically?
The spatial arrangements or pedestrian flows or.
the,
About whether 8 feet,
Right,
Yeah.
okay, let's be specific.
yes, about whether 8 feet between,
whether the 8 foot standard
Eight foot
was,
standard
was
pedestrian
observed.
passageway. Passageway.
It's always harder to type when somebody is
What?
being your
Yes.
results.
Standard for pedestrian passageway was,
And the owners indicated they would ensure
Or they were
compliance.
there in compliance, yeah.
that.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't think the next two.
We'll get to those.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you.
All right, so that reads, whereas concerns were raised about whether the 8-foot standard for pedestrian passageway was present, but applicants assured CB6 that their layout would be in compliance with DOT regs,
Perfect.
regulations. Okay.
Okay.
Do you guys have any comments specifically about potential conflicts with existing curb use?
No.
Okay. Do you guys have any comments specifically about? Oh, no, that's it. There were no members of the public.
Right.
Any modifications?
No.
Yeah, one way to find out. Like staff.
All right, therefore, be it resolved that pursuant to the presentation made by the representative of the meeting, at this meeting held on November 21st, 2024. And pursuant to all other considerations, CP6 recommends approval of the above reference application, so long as the applicant adheres to all the representations made by the representative to the committee. Okay. Can everyone live with this?
Yep.
All right, Roberta Allen Scott?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so then if you guys are ready, you may proceed to a vote on this resolution. Let me call the vote. All right, on the resolution as just displayed, Paige Judge is not here. John Keller,
In favor.
thank you. Anton Malner,
In favor.
thank you. Ann Seligman,
In favor.
thank you. Susan Steinberg,
In favor.
thank you. Sarah Whittington,
In favor.
thank you. Justin Goldberg,
In favor.
thank you. Michael Enroe,
In favor.
thank you. With 7 members in favor, none opposed, no abstentions, and none not entitled. This motion carries, and we'll move on to our full board meeting in December.
All right. Thank you very much for attending.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for hearing us.
Very much,
Thank you
guys.
very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Michael Ann, is your hand up from last time or?
Yeah,
is
it was
up?
it's from the last time. Actually, I can't see it on my screen that it's up, but,
I just lowered it, no worries.
thank you.
One step on me.
Pardon me. Next item on the agenda is roadway cafe license for MEG Restaurant Enterprise Limited, doing business as Novita at 102 East 22nd Street. Is there a representative for Novita available?
I'm here.
And you are?
Marco Frigonese. I'm the president.
All right, could you tell us a little bit about your restaurant and your application?
Apply for the course side.
You currently have a sidewalk seating area in front of your restaurant, am I not mistaken?
This sounds very bad. Could you repeat again?
Yeah, the answer is yes or no.
He can't hear you.
The question,
Oh.
he couldn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you currently have sidewalk seating in front of
Yes,
your
we do.
restaurant? Okay,
I was,
you-
I did the
Yeah,
meeting last month, I guess. we
yes,
did.
he did the meeting last month.
oh, that's right.
That was
Yeah.
for the sidewalk.
Because my attorney couldn't do it together because it was late.
Right, but
Okay.
I don't think we had a quorum. I'm not sure if
You
that's,
didn't have a quorum last time.
At that time, it was just a sidewalk cafe. DOT
Yes.
had yet to send us the roadway cafe.
Yes.
Subsequent to that meeting, they then send us the roadway cafe. That's
Yes.
why he's back now.
So we
Okay.
did different way.
fantastic.
All right. Okay, the only question I have then is, again, looking at your seating chart, looking at the schematic and looking at the pictures, it looks like that you don't have, the required 8-foot pedestrian clearance, in front of your restaurant. In fact, it looks like it's probably about 4 feet or 5 feet.
And
We
can
have
I just
80.
put something in the, kind of in the same vein, is that there's a
We have
tree.
8 feet from, on the, where the tree is, but the rest is.
You know, on the left side are your sidewalk tables. And on the right side is your current shed, which has to be taken down by the end of the month.
Yes,
And you're saying that there's 8 feet between the
Yes.
roped area of the,
we had this Psycho Cafe for 25 years. No, where the tree is, it's after,
That's-
before.
But it doesn't look like there's 8 feet between the chairs on the left against the windows and the street.
Yeah,
doesn't
but
look like it's
you don't
true,
need
it
to
looks
count
like
the tree. The tree is, there is no table there.
It's a tree.
The
It's
tree
not a
there.
pole.
There's no
Yeah.
tables there. It's only on the before or after the tree.
Oh, okay.
oh,
And-
okay.
We had the
fine.
permit for 25 years.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
not in the
that's, take it back
street.
down, I'm sorry. Not that picture, next one,
Yeah, next slide.
yeah. All right, that's, even if they put the tables there, it does look like there's sufficient pedestrian clearway. Okay, that was the only thing I had a question about. Does anybody in the committee have any other comments they would like to make?
Mm-mm.
I had a question. That there was a note on the application about the barriers being filled with soil rather
No, with the
than
water.
water.
It's
Water.
water.
Okay, I mean, I understand why you might, like, if you wanna have plants, you
Yeah.
wanna have soil, but for safety reasons.
No, we have a water and we're going to have some planters, like a
On the
base
top.
right on top.
Got it, cool. All right, thank you.
So be water.
Okay,
So safer.
I think the consensus of the committee is to
Into it,
grant approval.
don't. want-
Yes,
Do I hear a motion?
motion of recommendation of approval.
Yeah.
Second.
Guys,
No, we're just, she's explaining.
Sorry,
We need a motion of approval,
yes.
we recommended.
recommended.
Do we have a second? Oh,
Yes.
we have a second.
Okay. Is there anybody from the public? Does not appear to be. All right, so this committee recommends approval for roadway cafe license for MEG Restaurant Enterprise Limited doing business as Novita at 102 East 22nd Street, whereas Marco Fregonesi, Marco, are you the owner?
Yes, I am. One the
Okay.
partner.
All right. The co-owner then appeared before the Business Affairs and Licensing Committee on November 21st, 2024, because CB6 has jurisdiction on this premises. Does this board committee have any comments about the cafe's physical footprint and dimensions?
No.
Does this committee have any comments about the pedestrian flow? Visibility, safety, potential crowding?
Well, as per the last, clearance on the Jackson, what's it called? Junction 380.
Factory.
I think there should be something in there that as long as there's 8 feet clearance.
Yeah, we have the plan.
I
We have
know.
We have the permit for 25 years. So
Yeah, you
we're
might,
gonna be shut down before, with any clearance.
Maybe maybe
Do we
use
wanna
the
use
same
the
wording we
same
did for
language? Yeah.
the prior applicant.
Right?
as long as there's room, I mean, if there's, carriages coming through and there's other people walking by, there should be enough room for people to do that, Marco. And
The only thing I can tell you, there's a next door, is Fotografisca.
Is it what?
Fotografisca,
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
okay, they put the awning illegally. Now the building is vacant, but the awning is structured, the flowing. So it should look into that.
The awning is what?
Is illegal, they put overnight. So people cannot pass by there.
I understand that Fotografisca is going out of business by the end of the year.
But no, it's already out of business.
Already out of business?
Mhm.
But the awning in 22nd Street is illegal.
Oh.
They put it overnight. There's a probably people walking by there. So it should look into that. We may complain, the owner doesn't do anything.
So who did you complain to about it?
My management company of the building complained with the Fotografisca owner, Rosen, I guess. The ex-owner of Gramercy.
Okay, I think the complaint should go through 311.
Yeah.
And they will send it to the appropriate area of the city to take a look at it.
Okay, so the language, so is this committee suggesting using the language in the last resolution about the 8-foot standard?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, whereas concerns were raised about whether the 8-foot standard for pedestrian passageway was present, but applicant assured CB6 that their layout would be in compliance with DOT regulations. Can everyone live with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marco?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys have any comments about potential conflicts with existing curb use, planters, bike racks, bus stops?
No.
We already have the language about the,
Whereas no members of the community had comments for or against. Any modifications?
Sorry.
Any modifications?
No.
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 Therefore, be it resolved that pursuant to the presentation made by the representative at the meeting of this committee held on this day, November 21st, CBC recommends approval of the above reference application, so long as the applicant adheres to all the representations made by the representatives to the committee. Okay, then if you guys are all happy with this, we can proceed to a vote.
can we also vote on whether to close the window?
That's all up to you. If somebody is hot, someone's cold.
Are you still hot?
It wasn't me.
I was, okay, you close the window.
I'll close it halfway.
Well, we need some motion a second first.
Okay, all right. When I call your name, you will indicate whether you are in favor, opposed, abstain, or not entitled to vote on this resolution regarding roadway dining application for Novita. Paige Judge is not here. John Keller.
In favor.
Thank you. Anton Melner.
In favor.
Thank you. Ann Seligman.
In favor.
Thank you. Susan Steinberg.
In favor.
Thank you. Sarah Whittington.
In favor.
Thank you. Justin Goldberg.
In favor.
Thank you. Michael Enroe.
In favor.
Thank you. 7 members in favor, none opposed, no abstentions, and no non-entitles. This motion carries, and we'll move on to the December full board meeting of Manhattan Community Board 6.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye, thanks.
A quick procedural question. What are how are the order of names decided? The order of names.
Order of names.
It's not alphabetical.
Yeah, I'm just
The
wondering.
Justin's at the end.
I'm
He
at
should
the
be
end, I'm
near
just
the
wondering
beginning.
why.
Oh, it just came up that way. I don't know.
I put you in the right spot.
Thank you, thank you.
Justin wants his name called first.
On this particular roster, it just came.
I was just, is it a statement? I don't know.
Go to the back of the class,
You're back in
Justin.
the class.
Hashtag first world problem.
The baby in the corner.
So,
Back of the bus has the most fun.
yeah.
Okay, item number 5. Roadway Cafe license for Murray Hill Enterprises doing business as Cask Bar and Kitchen at 167 East 33rd Street.
Good evening, everyone. Michael Kelly representing the applicant. With me is Elaine Marlowe, one of the owners.
Hi, everybody.
We're applying for a roadway cafe that's 7 feet 6 inches in width, 12 feet 9 inches in length. There's 6 tables and 12 seats. The footprint of the roadway structure complies with the DOT rules, so that's why we're here. If there are any questions, we'll be happy to answer them.
Do you have a sidewalk cafe license?
No, there's no sidewalk cafe. We have a tree pit there, so there's no room for it.
Oh, I thought some of the pictures I saw tables outside. Maybe I'm mistaken.
No, you could have saw tables outside, but that was COVID tables. So at this point, we can't put any seating on the sidewalk because we won't make the 8-foot clearance.
Okay. Just see what we have here. There we go. Yeah, so
Yes,
there are no tables on the left side, you're saying?
Well, when these photos were taken, we were operating under the open restaurant seating program, so they were allowed.
Okay,
At this point, we wouldn't make an 8-foot clearance. So that's why we didn't apply for a sidewalk cafe. So all our seating will be in the roadway.
okay. All right, that is the only question I have. Yes,
So can you scroll down to the schematic, please, Jesus? Because it looks to me, my question was, it looks like there's a parking space between,
There is.
yeah, how do you like deal with that just
Yeah.
as a,
It's not,
like
yeah.
as a logistical
Mm.
question?
Don't understand the question
What do you mean?
Okay,
about the parking space.
so between, it's from the schematic here,
Yeah.
it looks like there's a parking space,
and it's a parking lane.
well, parking lane,
Yeah,
so
but- yeah, so in
presumably,
between the parking lane.
I mean, that's
and the
like one
curb.
car's, it's 12 feet, so it's like one car.
Yeah, so what that's indicating is that the structure is in the parking lane, so we're taking up a parking spot.
Oh, I see, so it's not that the parking lane is between the sidewalk, cause,
Correct.
okay, I'm sorry, the schematic is a little bit confusing to me, cause it looks to me
yeah,
like
My architect's a little overzealous and wanted to indicate where the structure would be. So it's in
Got
a
it.
parking spot.
Cool. All right, so, cause I was like, that could be ugly. So, and I'm also just curious about the capacity, like what the number of people, both inside and outside?
Well,
Yeah, so
Inside-
there's 6 tables and 12 seats on the inside.
And looks like about the same on the outside, yeah?
There would be nothing on the outside of that,
No,
In the
meaning a sidewalk
shed,
cafe.
the Sidewalk cafe.
There'll be nothing on the sidewalk in the future. The seats and tables you saw on the sidewalk were during the open restaurant.
Sorry,
COVID.
I misspoke. For the shed that you wanna put in. What's the capacity?
12.
12.
So there's,
So the
yeah, you can
same
see
as-
there's 6 boxes, 6 tables with 2 seats each.
mhm.
Got it.
Okay, do we have any questions or comments from the public?
Um,
Any further questions or comments from the committee? I think the consensus of the committee is that we'll approve this. Do I hear a motion?
Motion of recommending approval.
Second.
Second. Okay.
One moment while I pull up the draft. All right. Resolution recommending approval for a roadway cafe license for Murray Hills, Enterprises, Inc., doing business as Cask Bar and Kitchen at 167 East 33rd Street. Whereas, sir, forgive me, I have the memory of a housefly. Can you tell me your name? again?
Michael Kelly.
Michael Kelly. Oh, yes, of course.
I heard houseflies are pretty smart.
Yeah,
I've been here
I was gonna thank you for not insulting goldfish.
Yeah.
Okay, Michael Kelly, attorney, appeared before.
I'm their
the
representative.
Representative.
Yes.
Appeared before the Business Affairs and Licensing Committee of Manhattan Community Board 6 on November 2024. Does this committee have any comments about the cafe's physical footprint and dimensions? No. All right, none. Does this committee have any comments about the pedestrian flow, visibility, safety, potential crowding of this application? No. All right. Does this committee have any comments about potential conflicts with existing curb use, planters, bike racks, bus stops, and the like?
No.
All right, none. Does not appear that any members of the public had anything to say about this particular application. Whereas the applicant, any modifications for the applicant?
No.
None, okay. Therefore, be it resolved that pursuant to the presentation made by the representative at the meeting of this committee held on November 21st, 2024, CB6 recommends approval of the above application, so long as the applicant adheres to all the representations made at this committee. Everyone can live with this?
Yep.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so then if everyone can live with this, you guys can proceed to a vote. When I call your name, please indicate whether you are in favor, opposed, abstain, or not entitled. Page Judge is not here. John Keller.
In favor.
Thank you. Anton Malner.
In favor.
Thank you. Ann Seligman.
In favor.
Thank you. Susan Steinberg.
In favor?
Thank you. Sarah Whittington.
In favor.
Thank you. Justin Goldberg.
In favor.
Thank you. Michael Lanroe.
In favor.
Thank you. All right, with 7 members in favor, none opposed, no abstentions, and no not entitleds. This motion carries and moves on to the CB6 full board meeting in December.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kelly. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Happy holiday.
Happy holidays.
Thanks.
Okay, item number 6. Roadway Cafe license for 48 Restaurant Associates LLC doing business as Avra Estiatorio at 145 East 48th Street. Is there a representative for Avra available?
Yes, Kathleen Stathopoulos, I'm the attorney for Avra.
Thank you.
And I also have Mr. Cortez on the phone. He didn't have Zoom available. He is the general manager. I don't know if you can hear him.
The first question I have is that I've noticed over the years, using Google Maps and Google Images, that your restaurant seems to be setting up tables in the Pops which is next to the restaurant.
Yes,
Do you have DOT
Yes.
and city permission to do that?
yes, we do. We've had that all year, all the years along. We have to renew it every so often.
But I think there's some new guidelines with POPs. Isn't there the 20% rule?
I don't really know, to tell you the truth. I'm not sure. I'm
I
not
think
sure.
you should read those. We had a big meeting about that last year about POPs use, and we just had a recent business redesign a POPs area for their restaurant, their building management. And just want you to know that, you know, community really wants green space back. They
Right.
want to use
Yeah.
green space. So we are looking at a lot of these businesses and making sure that they're not taking more than they should have. And you know, we don't have enough green space in New York, and that's what's, you know, going to happen. And so I wouldn't want you to start setting up shop and getting too used to that again. I would pull back a little bit. It looks like you've got a lot of encroachment going on there, but I would read the rules. There has been some new guidelines, but
Well, I'm sure that once this license renews, I don't know when that will be, that those guidelines will be in place and we will have to comply with them. I don't know when the license is expiring that they have currently.
Yeah. Anton, can I follow up
Yes,
on
go
that?
ahead.
Yeah, because I had the same question. I remember that you had tables in the POPs and it was nice. But my understanding was that this request is for actually like in the street, not in the POPs.
Yes, this has nothing to do with the POPs. We're here
Yeah.
under the
I
DOT.
just have to notice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's nothing to do with POPs at all, right?
Yeah. Because so the POP space, like the 20% rule doesn't,
No.
Not for this.
it doesn't apply for
There's
this.
two different licenses.
Yeah.
That's a different thing.
The 20% rule applies if the designation, the official designation of their setup is an open air cafe. So they would have had to have gone through Department of City Planning and gotten a certification from them. We can
Right.
check if but that is not.
But that's not what's.
That's not on the menu.
That's not what's on today, yeah.
Right. No, I don't have any questions. It doesn't seem to be any sidewalk encroachment or passageway issues with this particular application. Do I hear any members of the committee have any comments? Maybe we should show the.
My
application.
question is why isn't there an application for that, for the seating in the POPs?
That's not before us today. This is only for the roadway design. That goes to Department of City Planning. That has nothing to do with Department of Transportation. That's a whole different application, a whole different procedure. That will come before you once it comes time to renew, but it's not what we're here tonight for.
Yes, we agree.
Okay, so what are you saying is to renew? What's to renew?
Nothing is to renew. The brand new, we're looking for a brand new roadway.
That shed has been there for a number of years. When is it going to come down? Do you have any idea?
You're talking about the work on the building that's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Arturo, are you able to hear us and speak?
Yes.
Okay, do you know when that shed's coming down? Not that they're just curious because it does seem to be there forever. I'm sure you can't.
Are we talking about the bridging? Are we talking about the scaffolding kind of,
yeah,
is
the
that what you're referring to?
scaffolding,
So that's not
shed.
there any longer.
Oh.
That was taken down a few weeks ago.
Oh,
there was
great.
an issue.
Congratulations. That's great.
Okay.
Well, no. It was, unfortunately, it was a Con Ed emergency problem that forced the building to take down the shed, the scaffolding.
Oh.
They're going to,
back up.
because it's about the local law 11, the pointing of the bricks. And then once they do certain things that they have to do, they're going to put it back up again. I think they're thinking in the spring.
Well, I hope nothing untoward happens between now and the spring with the building facade.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Anyway,
Do you guys want to see more pictures or?
I'm good. There's the POPs.
Yeah,
Where?
It's also the entry to the restaurant is on the side.
yeah, on the right.
Are you sure about? I thought the entrance was at the front.
No, I'm just saying on the right side of the
Right.
picture.
What is this?
Does somebody else want to jump in feet first and make a motion?
Justin,
Yes.
go for it.
I'm not sure I want to do it.
Make a motion of approval.
Second,
Second,
okay.
Did you guys check with the public already?
Do any members of the public have any comments? I don't see anything.
Justin?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, let me put this up so that all can see.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a resolution recommending approval
Yes.
for a roadway cafe license for 48th Restaurant Associates LLC doing business as Abra Estiatorio. All right.
Very good.
At 145 East 48th Street, whereas, okay, we have on the phone, is it Arturo Cortez?
Correct.
All right, Cortez with a Z or an S?
With an S.
And you are the owner?
Managing partner, general manager. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here, I'm just typing.
Sorry, it just got really quiet. I thought maybe I lost you guys.
We're composing the resolution as live, so.
Sure. Sure.
Yes. Okay, and. All right, it is Kathleen E.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry for that name.
That's all right. We'll just put Smith.
He did well with Estiatorio, so.
We'll just put Smith.
Never apologize for who you are.
Oh, thank you. That's nice. Really, I blame my husband for that last name, not me.
Kathleen E. Negris Statopoulos.
Statopoulos, right, that's right.
Is it at least spelled correctly?
Yeah, it's spelled beautifully, yes. And you said it beautifully as well.
Attorney appeared before the Business Affairs and Licensing Committee on November 21, 2024, as CB6 has jurisdiction for this site. Does the committee have any comments about the cafe's physical footprint and dimensions?
No.
No.
All right, none. Does the committee have any comments about pedestrian flow, visibility, safety, potential crowding?
No.
No.
None. Any comments about potential conflicts with existing curb use, planters, bike racks, bus stops, etc.?
No.
No? All right. It does not appear that any members of the public had anything to say about this particular application. Are there any modifications
No.
for this application?
Nope.
None. All right. Pursuant to presentation made by the representatives at the meeting of this committee held on November 21, 2024, CB6 recommends approval of the above referenced application, so long as the applicant adheres to all the representations made by the representatives at this committee. All right, and if can everyone live with this?
Yeah.
Committee, applicants?
Yes, we're fine, thank you.
Okay, then we will proceed to a vote. Okay. By popular demand, we'll start at the end of the list. Justin Goldberg. In favor, opposed, abstain, or not entitled.
This is why I'm at that. This is why.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
In favor, opposed, abstain, or not entitled.
In favor.
Thank you. Michael Anro,
In favor.
thank you. Paige Judge is not here. John Keller,
In favor.
thank you. Anton Malner,
In favor.
thank you. Ann Seligman,
In favor.
thank you. Susan Steinberg,
In favor.
thank you. Sarah Whittington.
In favor.
All right, with 7 members voting in favor, none opposed, no abstentions, and no not entitled. This motion carries and moves on to the CB6 full board in December.
Thank you, guys. Have a good
Thank you very
Thanksgiving.
much. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Have a nice Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Good night.
Okay, Chair's report. I really don't have anything to report. However, Jesus sent me an email this morning saying that there will be a meeting of New York City DOT for a hearing on various roadway cafe applications, including one in our area. And it seems to be, there are going to be 13 presented at this December 10th meeting. You're going to zoom in on that, Jesus?
Yes, for those who may remember the trusty little Dining Out NYC guide that I made the committee, and I'm sure read it cover to cover. Some of these roadway cafe applications automatically need to go to a public hearing that is organized by DOT. And sidewalk cafes do only under certain circumstances, things like objections and modifications that aren't agreed to and stuff like that. We had not actually gotten any notification about any public hearings up to this point. Just today we got one. And so yes, it's a hearing that's happening on December 10th. It's going to be online, and it will be organized by DOT. It has been properly noticed in the city record. So as every properly held public hearing is, and there are 13 applicants on the agenda, but only one of them is in our district. It was the one that you guys heard, I believe it was last month, El Mono LLC for, what was it? Bar Hamon and
Casamano and
Casamano.
Bahamon on the catty corner, yeah.
Casamano, that's the one. So that one is having its public hearing. It's 8th on the list of 13. I will be tuning in, not to testify because you guys just recommended approval, so there's nothing really that you mentioned in their resolution, but just to kind of hear and see what the process is. I've heard the process is very, very fast, but I'd like to see it for myself.
I would suggest that you send a link to all members of the committee so that if they want to tune in.
Okay.
We're suckers for punishment.
I'll take minutes.
Is there
Probably better than mine.
Any old or new business before the committee?
That's a new business.
Any old or new business? Well, did you read my question that I had? But I'd like to get back. I do have a question about this whole pop space, and maybe I'm not understanding it clearly. So they have to, she said something, you'll get that when we reapply. Now, was she talking about the pop space, or was she talking about, is there some other application coming forward for the particular pop space? Or was she talking about the roadside cafe?
The pops are reviewed on a regular basis.
No, they're not.
No. Licenses to use this, for commercial uses within a pops, those are reviewed on a regular basis.
Okay, well, I beg to differ because I'd like to know.
Well, they're supposed to be.
They're supposed to be, exactly. And this is what I would like to bring up. Businesses encroaching on pop space. And so what I'm not understanding from that woman, was she just throwing me off and trying to tell me that there's some other application that's going to come in that has to do with exactly that? Or
yes, to renew their license. to use that part of the POPs for a period of time. And we've had this come before the committee before, and not in that form, but that at one time we had taken a review of all the POPs in our area and found that many of them were not complying with
Yeah.
the requirements of the license. This is where we would have an issue. If they were complying with the requirements of the license, and they're different for each POP, by the way, they're not standard, then that would be brought to the attention of the appropriate authorities.
That has traditionally been in either parks or transportation. Because
Michael,
Yes,
Michael,
exactly.
what we can do is, so is this the POP space? Forgive me, I don't know every single POP in
Yes.
this district. We have a lot of them.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the POP space.
Yeah.
So what we will do is we can check with city planning
Yeah.
to make sure that they have a duly executed certification from City Planning Commission. Use this POP space as what's called an open air cafe. That's the 20% rule. If they do have it, then it may be that they got it a long time ago.
Yeah.
And while we heard that these are certifications are only for 3 years, I'll be honest, I have not seen one come back for renewal
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
So we need to check in on that, but we can double check with city planning.
Right, according
about
to,
this.
according to Google Maps, I went back to 2014, it was being used. as an
it's
open air
for
cafe
longer.
for-
It's been used for a very long time. And if nobody's watching, they're just gonna do it. I mean, I've got people, there's people El Rio Grande, it's a perfect example as well, that's been doing it, for a long time. And, they don't even give back to the community. It wouldn't matter anyway. I'm just saying, they don't give back to the community. They're not even a member of the Murriel Neighborhood Association.
Yeah, I misspoke when I said this committee, it's actually the Parks and Landmarks, which I also sit on, that had brought this up actually a couple of years ago. And as I said, we had done an informal walkthrough of the POPs in our immediate area and found that probably half of them were not complying with rules, particularly being open at certain hours, or being closed when they should be open, things like
Providing
that.
water.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think, this probably is a large issue, a larger issue, and I had made the suggestion in the Parks and Landmarks that we get a summer intern to review all the POPs in our area and update the last review we did, I guess about 5 years ago.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think that would be great. It'd behoove us to keep an eye on that, as community board people, because they're not only applying for a roadside cafe, it's greed. To me, it's greedy. And they've had a lot of seats on that POP space. I've been to that restaurant a number of times and they really spread out. I'm just gonna get my doorbell.
So it sounds like they're doing more than 20%. Can we, Jesus, can we follow up with the appropriate department and find out what's going on there?
Yes, we
Okay.
can certainly do that.
I'd appreciate it. If you did that, get back to the committee.
Yes, we will follow up to see whether what they have there is an official open air cafe. And if so, when it started.
Okay. And whether their license has come up for renewal and if there
No.
are any comments.
The
Yeah,
one thing I will say is like, at the suggestion of getting an intern to, make us, an update of the POP survey. I would actually recommend that a small group of members do it, because what'll happen is that the members will know these
Yes.
POPs so much more
Right.
intimately, which they should as community board members,
Mhm.
than if just an intern does it and just hands you a report
I-
and that probably won't get read.
No, I'd actually recommend a large group of community board members, and
Yeah.
maybe this is the kind of thing where, there's an air table and it has a list of Pops and somebody says, yeah, I'll check this out. And then there's a place for comments.
Right, okay, yeah. and I
Or
think- but I think
Google
that-
Doc,
yeah,
whatever.
It's not only a physical issue, but it's a larger issue. You can go to a Pops and it looks like it's all right, but you go into the documentation, you realize, hey, it's not, because they have 8 more tables than they should have, even though it looks very nice.
No. I mean, because one of the requirements of Pops is that they have posted
Right.
what their amenities are
Right, yes.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so you can sort of check, okay, do they have this? And so yeah. And there was a because I was part of that effort several years ago.
Okay.
So we should already, I don't know what form it's in, but we should already have a list of like, I don't think we've added a lot of new Pops in the last 5 years. And it should have a listing also of like, these are the amenities that were originally agreed to. And, are they still there? Like,
Yeah.
if there's a water fountain, is it functioning? If there are trash cans, like, are there trash cans? Like those kinds of things.
It's kind of
I
funny
think-
because, oh, sorry.
Okay, so, next.
Maybe
Parks
exactly.
and landmarks, we're gonna have you talk about this.
This appears, actually, I was checking out our trustee, or the city planning's trustee zoning application portal. And I'm looking at it for 10 seconds now. This looks like their application for a certification for an open air cafe. So it should have come to the board when was this? This was done in 2015.
It's a date.
Let's see, is the date here?
Okay.
Filed in 2014. So this was before I got here as your district manager.
There was a time for.
Yes, I am 75 years old. So yes,
That's
this would,
crazy.
it would have happened before, I was at the BP's office at the.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I was at the BP's office, so it does look like they have an open air cafe. Now, how do we know that they're sticking to the 20%? I don't know. And obviously, there have been many periods of 3-year chunks since 2015. And we have not seen anything come our way. So one of the things we need to do is go to city planning and see what sort of review process is in place after they actually get the certification, because all we know is that it lasts for 3 years. We have no idea whether we get any say
What
in its
happens
continuance.
at the end of
It's
that?
obviously a very important community issue, given the lack of green space in this community area. Okay, so you'll let us know by next meeting?
Well, we know, this
Okay,
means it
but-
was approved, so we
Okay.
know that on July 8th, 2015, City Planning Commission sent the documentation to approve this open air cafe. That's the 20% rule that you guys learned about last time.
Okay, but doesn't this license have to be renewed every 3 years?
That is what we need to find
And
out.
that's the thing too, yeah.
We were told that it lasts for 3 years, but they
Whether
did
it's
not
an
specifically
automatic-
say that it comes back to us every
Right.
3 years.
It might be automatically renewed, if there are no,
If there are no
Issues.
issues, but you don't know if there are no issues.
if you don't.
Yeah. Okay, any other old and new business?
I do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
do we have something else?
Yes, I have,
Okay.
Oh,
well,
I'm sorry.
that's
No,
okay.
All right, I'll go. So I wanted to discuss, a concern that I have over the application for cannabis stores, given the situation that we have in basically the last 2 months. Basically, it's, when OCM approves a store that is technically in compliance, with OCM guidelines, but whose approval may not necessarily be in the best interest of the community. And I wanted to talk or discuss about coming up with some sort of resolution that might maybe, next month presenting it, that might address some of those concerns.
Hmm.
So, yeah, sorry.
so, no, I've been thinking about this as well, because we do have, guidelines that we have for, you know, for people wanting liquor licenses. And so maybe what we need to do is develop those same kinds of like,
Yeah.
what is acceptable so that we.
Or a
when somebody
resolution
comes in
suggesting
front-
what should be.
Well, no, it's, I don't think it's a resolution. I think it's more of an internal.
Oh, you mean like an
Like-
internal assessment? So we
Yeah,
can
just
internally
something like
assess
so
it?
that we can say like, hey, we have these objective criteria
Mhm.
for what is acceptable and what, like, these are stipulations. Like, we don't typically give anybody a 4 AM closing time when they first show up.
Okay, yeah.
And so, but I think it's worth,
Yeah, however, that's not written as I recall, with 4A.
was written at
Wrong.
some point.
Okay,
And Paige was part of the creation of that.
Well, we need
So-
to find it.
Yeah.
It sounds like what Justin
It's
is.
kind of two different things. You're
was
one is
saying
talking about
is-
an internal guidelines, and I'm saying is that, I don't know if we can make suggestions to local politicians to.
Or like OCM.
I don't know, like, yeah, to enact something, because this,
Mhm.
like, the way that, it just bugs me how this situation played out, that even if we had given our disapproval, that, like, you know, it basically, I wonder if there's, other criteria that we could consider, or, you know, any other thoughts that we can consider when a similar situation takes place in the future.
I have a,
open
Yeah.
suggestion, yes.
so a couple of comments. That was one of my questions that I put in the question box for today. And out of all of the comments and the uproar, if you will, about these cannabis shops, the legal, let's just talk about the legal for a second. There's two things that I feel like we could really work on as resolutions. Is number one, to curb and to put a limit on how many cannabis shops can one community endure. In other words, let's talk about how many are allowed on one block or in one square radius of so many blocks, because it's starting to look really sketchy in our neighborhood. And how much can we endure? We have a lot of schools, we have a lot of community centers, and this is always coming up about these cannabis shops. So why can't we now talk about a resolution about how many we should have in a community? And the other thing was, I think I heard a lady speak at at our full board meeting last week, and I was glad to hear it, about the 500 feet rule. And that's what I think that we could really grab onto. If I'd have to go back and listen to it. And if anybody else recalls of her saying something, I forget which agency she was from or committee, but she addressed this 500, sorry about the noise, the 500-foot rule. And that was one of the great big arguments we had, or discussions, I should say, at the meeting last time, or when the community came, the Tudor City people came. And this 500 rule thing, oh, it's not on the same road. Well, it's around the corner. Like, come on. And so this is what happened on 31st Street or whatever, 30th Street with Smiley's. I mean, seriously, it's within a very close vicinity of all of those things. And we know that OCM was very frivolous in putting together their guidelines. It doesn't seem like they're still very solid. So I think it's asking our politicians and some of these leaders to push them on these guidelines, and maybe something that we could, you know.
Well,
Can I make a suggestion then?
Sure, go ahead.
So one of
Kelly
the,
requests the floor.
Oh,
Yeah, hi. Yeah, this has been around for a while, and I think Aaron stated it well. There are two issues here, I think. One is, what is our view on how OCM is behaving? And obviously, we don't like the way OCM is behaving. And I think government, the Government Affairs Committee is looking at this. And last night at exec, they agreed, I think, Anton, to engage with our committee on that. So that's got to be done, and it's got to be done in a systematic and thoughtful way. The other issue, though, is something that Kevin O'Keefe has been raising for a while, and I think quite validly, is that what is the role the community board plays in these, even if they meet the requirements, and I think that is what we got at with the Hallmark discussion.
Yeah.
And that's a very important discussion to have, and it's not a one meeting discussion. you know,
Yeah.
but so I think there are two issues, OCM's behavior and how do we define the role, our role beyond, even if it's legal by the OCM's regulations, we have a say. That's it, sorry.
Just because it's legal doesn't make it right.
Right, exactly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I wanted to suggest some form of community impact assessment. I don't know if this actually could work both ways, whether it's internal or a suggestion to OCM. But the idea is that basically there'd be some sort of community impact assessment evaluating, you know, potential effects on local businesses, schools, residential areas, ensuring alignment with community interests. This could take into account something like how many stores are in the area. You know, my concern with the amount of stores is that in the case for the one that came up a few months ago, like even if there were only 2 stores, having a gigantic megalopolis like that might have gone through the store limit while still not being in community interest. So I was thinking about it in the future coming up with some sort of resolution, both for internal guidelines and then also a resolution to OCM to have some sort of community impact assessment.
We have to go back to our electeds on that.
Yeah.
Because the OCM supposedly takes its direction from the law and from the electeds. So unless we can convince our electeds that, in fact, it's very important to have a community assessment, community input that is relevant and effective.
Yeah.
Effective, I think, is the governing
Yeah.
word here. Then I go back and ask the same question I did about a year ago. What do we even bother doing this?
Yeah.
Doing what?
Going through
Having
this approval process.
Yeah.
By OCM, you mean, or by?
No, by us, like what.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like,
I'm saying, why can't we make a resolution suggesting to our local officials that they should have some sort of assessment? Because this one just would have gone through without any community, like any thought about how it would impact the community. And then what would happen is a year down the line, you know, one of our officials would have said, why is there this gigantic, why did you guys stop this from coming right next to the UN? Like,
No,
why,
I don't think they would say that. Just in fairness.
Okay.
No, I do think, but I mean, I think.
Good, I don't know. Like,
No,
and if
but
they
I-
did, I'm saying like they would have.
Don't, right, but I mean, I think it's, I think. Yeah.
That's true, that's
Well,
true.
and I think in fairness, like what we should do is we should decide for ourselves as a committee and as a board, like you mentioned a bunch of them, but what are
Some of the
the
criteria.
elements?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have some guidelines, so it's not
So,
just
and so we can say, not just like have a community impact assessment, we can say,
Yeah.
look, these are our concerns about how many stores there are, what the size of the stores, what are the
They fall
local.
within the 200, 500 foot,
Yeah.
1,000 foot.
But even if it was
limit.
501 feet, it doesn't mean it's a good idea, like that just is
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well,
But
you
I
know,
think we already kind of know what the elements are.
and I don't see a vetting process. Like who's vetting these people? Like, do they have a business like mind? Do they have an Excel sheet? Do they know how to run a business? And last year, like with Smiley's, nobody asked that question. Like,
Okay, but Michael Ann, I gotta tell you, as somebody, as a long-term member, it's, even though I do often question this, it's kind of not our job to
but we're
say whether,
completely
no,
board
just please let me finish. It's not our job to make sure a business has a good business plan. Like
But
that's, it's not, I mean, if somebody wants to throw money at something.
If somebody wants to open a bar and they've had no previous experience at all.
It's not really our purview to do.
But
Like, we may question that.
yes,
But it's not like we can't say, no, you can't do it because you've never done it before.
Right.
I think Ann is absolutely right. I mean, we had a case last year, I won't name it, where a place was gonna open a pizzeria, and it was in my neighborhood, and I said, oh, you know, this pizzeria are within like 100 feet of you. And apparently they changed their minds because it never opened. So,
this is between 56th, 7th and 58th and First.
yes, exactly.
I guess we'd be opening up a whole. Yeah.
For those who want to speak about this topic, the agenda is not posted yet, but it will be in a couple of days. At the December 9th Budget and Governmental Affairs Committee, the topic of reforming cannabis regulations with respect to dispensaries is on the agenda.
Okay,
So you guys may want to visit that committee and make your voices heard there.
Sorry,
Okay.
which committee was that again?
That's the Budget and Governmental Affairs Committee,
Oh.
Monday, December 9th. Again, all of our committees are on our website, on the calendar page. The
Yeah.
agenda.
Could I suggest on that one, Jesus, that you send that a panelist invite be sent to the members of this committee for that meeting, if that's okay with the other committee and with Anton.
Yeah.
fine with me?
Okay,
All right. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Adjourn.
Okay.
Wait.
I know, and I still haven't heard
Meeting is
back.
adjourned
Thank you.
at
Wow.
7:56 PM.